Kustok, who has completed 56% of his passes, but most of the time he'll hand to Damian Anderson, the quiet but lethal running back. Sam Simmons caught the game winner against Minnesota. You'll see all of those wide receivers in that spread attack. Eric Brackens will be very active at that linebacking spot. He must shut down on Anderson here today. James Whitley and Todd Howard will be out on an island. They'll be manned up throughout the day against this spread offense, which across the field as Kustok is ready for the first snap, and we are underway. The first pass is completed, and John Swigert, number 82, makes his way close to a first down. The rest of our lineup, Austin King, the center from Cincinnati, leads the Northwestern offensive line in pancake blocks this year. Good duels up front. Michigan will switch with this three-man. Now they go to a 5-down lineman to rush. Susak on the move, throws complete for the first down, and it's incomplete. Wave it off. Did not hold it long enough, and the line judge rolled it down. So transfer from Notre Dame is from Carl Sandburg High School in Orland Park, Illinois. His name is pronounced Kustok, and he was an outstanding basketball player in high school. So the Wildcats now, that's a big part of their offense here. Now the corner is back off for Michigan. A Kustok on a keeper. First down, Northwestern.
You mentioned they don't huddle. They haven't huddled since 1999.
One, of course, is hot. The other's a dummy signal. And here comes Anderson to daylight. Near midfield. And Northwestern has 22 more yards rushing for Damian Anderson, who has broken the 200-yard rushing barrier to move to the line of scrimmage. Herman sticks with 4 down linemen. Anderson to daylight. 35-30. Needs one block. Can't get it out of bounds, but he's inside the 10-yard line. Dwayne Patman and the Northwestern attack is causing fits for the Michigan defense early. It's 39 more yards.
Little inside handoff, that's just basic running play. The safety comes up, bad angle. There goes Damian, 4-4, running in space.
Know what they've got called. He'll keep it on an option look. Cut inside to the 3-yard line, and a stop by Dwayne Patman, who saved a touchdown.
To prepare, it's tough to get used to this fast.
In danger here with 3rd down and less than 1, actually. Anderson, I believe he got the first down, but he was short of the goal line. Larry Foote and Hobson there again. And 10, and the Wildcats give it to Kustok, who goes across the end. Touchdown! So Michigan surrenders a touchdown on Northwestern's first series. 85 yards, 9 plays. Northwestern strikes first. On a Big Ten Saturday afternoon, Wisconsin over Minnesota. Illinois rallies to beat Indiana. Iowa and Penn State are in their second overtime period, and Ohio State puts away Michigan State. Purdue idle this week was Zach Kustok, having led Northwestern to an opening drive touchdown, the first one that Michigan has allowed on the opening drive since October 24th, 1998. Chilly's starting lineup for the Wolverines. Drew Henson will lead the way. Anthony Thomas, number 32, the record breaker, is there. David Terrell, perhaps the best single wide receiver in the college game this season. Billy Silva is the middle linebacker for Northwestern, their leading tackler. All 3 backers are outstanding. And in that defensive backfield, Harold Blackman will get a crack at Terrell before the Drew Henson. From the pocket. Going to take off as the middle opens for Henson, who dives to the 40-yard line, picking up about 7 yards on the play behind this outstanding offensive line. Steve Hutchinson, number 76. Some of the pros say he might even be able to move to left tackle on Sundays. We shall see. Wayne Missouri, a fine defensive lineman for Northwestern. Conrad Emmerich on the other side is a converted linebacker. And 3. Henson with plenty of time, drops it to Marquise Walker, plays cat and mouse, and finally out of bounds. Can the Northwestern defense handle Hinson of the Wolverines? Hinson, remember, hasn't thrown an interception since October of '99, and not a bad hitter with runners in scoring position, folks. That was at Norwich before he was traded to the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, you're right. All the talk has been about that cute little spread offense for Northwestern, but the defense...
There's the draw play with number 32. And the backers, as usual, jump in there.
Michigan's game plan against Northwestern will be to pound the ball between the tackles inside and then finesse it with the play-action passes outside.
With a second down and 7. Using motion and throw a screen. Marquise going to throw it back to the quarterback. Overthrew him. Incomplete. Folks, there was an alley all the way to the end zone. And 7. From the shotgun. Plenty of time. Look at the time Hinson has. Marquise underneath and out of bounds at the 31. Well short of a first down. 31. Michigan needs to reach the Northwestern 28-yard line for a first down. Play fake, Hinson on a roll, is going to run for it, and he's got it. First down, Michigan on the dive.
Oh,
Now
my.
they said he gave it up.
It looked like he was down, but the ground caused that one.
Billy Silva picks up the loose football. The entire Michigan bench in season. Michigan has been the recipient of 2 huge breaks that went their way. Let's listen.
The runner was down on contact, then the ball came out. First down, Michigan.
I'm going to get a good look at this.
Now these are the 2 mistakes that went Michigan's way. First there was this non-fumble against Illinois. Then the ball knocked free on a great play by Hobson and put actually out of bounds. And now this play, Garrett.
There you see Drew stretching out it. Obviously, the ball hit the ground. That's the great call. It actually went out of bounds.
The ball was out of bounds.
Yeah, that was an easy call.
There was no question
That's an easy call.
either way.
Right.
And they have made the right call, and that's what you want to happen in this situation. I know the crowd is unhappy, but this ball belongs to Michigan, folks. Either way you look at it.
The ball hits, the ball rolls out of bounds, and as we know, Michigan knew last week.
Down and 10 from the right hash for a Wolverine attack. The middle. And Thomas first inside the 15-yard line. 12 yards, another first down before Wheeler up north to Madison, Wisconsin, and Mr. Fletcher up there. Third down now for Hinson and the Wolverines. Hinson getting lots of time. Can't find an open receiver, so he'll take off again. Silva on him, throws, touchdown! Marquise Walker, 10 yards, and credit the Michigan offensive line. There is a penalty flag thrown on the play.
Eligible lineman is downfield. Henson cannot find anybody open, but when it looks like he's going to scramble, good job by the secondary right there. From the guy, this guy comes up and leaves his receiver, and that's what Drew sees and lets it go.
And you could see the ineligible receiver almost at the goal line, folks, on the far to the left. And Blackman moves over on him one-on-one. Hinson looking in that direction, the slant, and he can't hang on. Penalty flag is thrown on the play, however. Now Michigan, 2 yards away, and they'll go in for their first score, and then an extra point away from a tie here in the opening quarter. Yeah, it sure is. Extra muscle. And touchdown, Michigan. Anthony Thomas. Bangs in again for Michigan. Timeout. Listen, here comes this powerful Northwestern offense. And Anderson somehow comes free again. So Michigan cannot contain Anderson. 16 more yards. Let's go to New York for an update from John Saunders. John?
Brett, as you know, last year Virginia Tech played for their national championship. It's not going to happen this season. Miami ends a 5-game skid against the Hokies. Ken Dorsey here, 80 yards to Santana Moss, 154 yards and 2 touchdowns, and a big win.
All right, and here Kustok without a huddle. Looks like about a 9-yard gain on the completion. First and 10, up to the measurement. Here's the end around, and they bring Patrick. And Michigan ready for that razzle-dazzle.
There's the defense down.
Plays from the sideline. There's that middle screen. Simmons breaks free and somehow gets a first down as Michigan fans on a couple of tackles. A 12-yard gain on 3rd down for Kustok and the Wildcats. They've already called the play and changed the play while you were watching that. I'm telling you, folks, and here comes Damian again. And slick tackle by Patnick.
That's the key to the Michigan defense.
Damian hits a wall of Wolverines that time. 4th down is coming up, and that sets up a story with Northwestern.
They're working in space.
And number 44 is their leading tackler. Young, quiet fellow out of California, Silva. This time Terrell got it out of bounds at the 34-yard line. There's a first down on the Terrell catch, and let's quickly go to John Saunders.
Then here on the Burger King update, second overtime, Penn State and Iowa. Iowa kicks a field goal. Casey to Tony Stewart, through his hands, intercepted by Ryan Hansen. And for the second time in 5 years, Iowa wins at Happy Valley.
Out on a bunt, charging in for third. Second down and 10. Up the middle, Thomas finds daylight, breaks free. Anthony Thomas. Inside the 15-yard line, Covington finally gets there.
That's exactly what Michigan wanted to do.
Current well-known Major League executive was once on the coaching staff at Northwestern. Lou Saban was the head coach, and George Steinbrenner, yes, the boss himself. There's Saban on the far left, and show us Steinbrenner.
Oh, here's George. There it is. I think Lou might have been the last guy that ever ordered George what to do, don't you think?
Absolutely. Later came back and hired Saban as a baseball executive for a time. Hansen pulls it out, gets good time again. Terrell got it, touchdown. They can't handle number 1.
They're one-on-one, coming inside, and the physical Terrell comes out, throws the ball, and look at that ball, the perfect spark. Inside technique. Now watch, Terrell gets inside and pushes off Blackman perfect. A tucked elbow the way you go.
15. And I know Blackman has done a good job against Johnson in Minnesota last week, but folks, this is a different breed of receiver right here. This is number 1, no doubt about it. Timeout. Not resemble what the Rams do, but the tempo does. How you attack a defense. That's what Northwestern went down to St. Louis to study. Not so much the plays. They're not like Kurt Warner. They don't stretch it with Isaac Bruce. But they run an up-tempo offense. Look at that option look right there, which you would not see. But look how it works in the college game. And Anderson out of bounds at the 20. He's picked up 21 more yards. Sideline to pick up the offensive play. Damian's already over 100 yards. Slant now to number 4. Another first down, Roger Jordan. And let us check in with Jaggeroo.
Well, Brent, you and Gary were talking about the genesis of this type of offense that the Northwestern Wildcats utilize. The tempo is what it's all about, as you know, Gary, but the play selection, well, according to Kevin Walker, he says, hey, I've been playing these sort of plays and running them for Randy Walker ever since I was a player at Carolina. He says that's how far back at least the playbook goes.
Dead ball.
Help me with that, Brad.
Offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. However, the offense still made enough yards for a first down on the run. It'll be 1st and 10.
Make decisions and do things, because that's what happens in a football game.
So here is 2nd down, and Simmons, who's got some swift, underneath, 1st down, Northwestern, as they drop the ball in underneath. And another thing that Walker preaches, don't quit. You'll have to kill us to beat us. And so Back in that shotgun without the huddle. He's got protection. He's going to go deep down the sideline. Deflected, incomplete. Stock's option look, and he's keeping it all the way. No question about it. Just short of the Michigan 46-yard line. 3rd down and 3. Underneath. Picked up Simmons again. And inside the 25, out at the 22-yard line, a 24-yard 3rd down play. Caught 54 of them with 4 balls. So Simmons breaks big, and there's that option look. Pitch Anderson, daylight. Touchdown, Northwestern. A penalty flag down. And the 22-yarder comes back. Walker wants an explanation.
Very demanding Randy is of his wideouts in this offense. They have to produce big plays with the wide receivers. Right here, watch his block here to the outside. That's what springs it. I'm not sure that's who got called, but Roger Jordan does a good job to the outside. It might have been up to the top right there that they might have called it. I'm not sure.
He's holding him.
Yep, grabbed him by the
Michigan 15-yard line. Stock, that option player again, and keeping it. Ready to go. The wide receiver picked up the signal already, and here comes Anderson trying to sprint away, and nothing doing because of James Whitley's tackle. Wouldn't let him free. Stock on the move, and he is down in the hands of Carl Diggs, number 43.
Mark, keep your guys fresh. This is a taxing offense as the game wears on.
3rd and 17. The changeup. Michigan shows pressure at the line of scrimmage. Then they back with the flow, and here comes Anderson looking for a block from the wide receiver to the 7-yard line. To use a 4th down with his offense. He'll settle for a field goal attempt here. This will be a 24-yard field goal. He's got it. Michigan 14, Northwestern 10, and we've got a timeout.
Come out, they score. They come out, they score.
Here comes Bellamy on the end around, wide open, breaks free. Blackman's got to get him on the angle on a cutback. Out of bounds, far side, inside the 40-yard line.
And they went in and fell asleep in the second half, and Lloyd hasn't let them forget it yet.
Into the Wolverines, come up with a 1st and 10. Thomas breaks the first tackle, but he's out of bounds. And, you know, David Terrell told us he wants the football. He wants it all the time, all game long. The right side of the offensive formation, and Henson rolls hard in that direction. Fires Marquise Walker's got it. 1st down, Michigan at the 16-yard line. Thomas, penalty flag.
Coming from that side, it's usually a tight end holding.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat 1st down.
Never forgotten as Henson here for the Wolverines wants to set the screen. And Thomas, daylight, cracked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Northwestern's victory. Steve Schnur, the quarterback, to the late Matt Hartle, who passed away tragically of cancer. And then it was William Bennett intercepting the pass, and Barnett and the Wildcats were on their way. 19-13. Hard-working, no-nonsense football man. 3rd down. Hanson back to the end zone. Penalty flag, touchdown. David Terrell could have a career day. Touchdowns each of its first 3 possessions. Terrell, 2 of them. 21-10 Wolverines.
My running style, I just try and be just smart and determined where I go with the ball. You know, I just feel as though if I'm going to take this cut or run in this hole, I'm just going to be as fast and as hard as I can.
On the move, but short of the first down. Another completion.
They're still ready to play, Michigan.
Northwestern using the tight end. Farmer blocks on Hobson. Kustok rolls in that direction, in trouble, and tosses, and incomplete. Northwestern is forced to punt against Michigan State. No, Bellamy driven back to the 20-yard line. Almost to the 40-yard line. A fine 19-yard return for Bellamy. There it is, folks.
See, that's pretty good. I think Michigan loves the matchup, bringing in 3 wide receivers.
And 7. Thomas. Midfield. And that will be very close to a first down. Williams has thrown 15 touchdown passes in his career, and he's still working on that string of passes without an interception. Going again, and he's sacked at the 35-yard line by Conrad Emmerich.
You talked about Blackman, you talked about Missouri, the other defensive end on this defense, Conrad Emmerich. That's protection when he gets sacked.
Thomas, daylight, getting it back. 15 of them. Here's Henson. Marquise Walker, first down, Michigan, inside the 35-yard line. That Terrell takes a break. He's off the field right now for the running play by Thomas, and he is stopped by Pat Durr. Well, we talk about his.
Michigan counters with 3 wide receivers. A bit of a mismatch.
2nd and 6, and they bring the end around again, and Bellamy close to a first down at the 22-yard line. Wheeler, the defender for the Wildcats.
Telling you about his baseball career. Well, here he is when he plays for the Chattanooga Lookouts. And George Steinbrenner brought this young man into his office and said, if you will guarantee us you will not go back to Michigan and play football, we won't trade you. He said, I can't promise you that. So what did he do? He got traded to Cincinnati for Denny Nagel.
Now, that was interesting, Jack, when you told us that Lloyd does not. It's rare to find a coach who says he doesn't mind. And play pick by Henson going again. Got time. Terrell got it. Pulled it down. Touchdown. David Terrell. 22 yards. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game.
He knew the play. Look at this. Here's straight up the field. Look how much inside Blackman is. Terrell runs right across his face, and their guy.
The best pass-catch combination in the college game. I'm telling you, it's something to watch.
Well, you wonder, if Drew Henson would have been healthy all year this year. They go out to UCLA and lose a game. They come back, they blow a game, and
straight back, fires underneath, and he's got his main man again. Number 30. That's number 82. That's young Schweiger down there who made the play that time. Checks the side. And now Hobson in a stand-up coming off the line. Gets picked up down middle. Got it. Nice pass by Kustok. First down at the Wolverines 45. 18 yards to Sam Simmons. Corners are off. Now they blitz. Foot from the outside. Here's Anderson. Right side. Looks daylight. Got his balance. Cut back. Anderson. Still going, and finally down at the 7. I want to tell you, folks, he's a fine-looking running back. The balance that time and the speed.
Is sitting up in the press box, and he's playing almost Madden football, EA football up there. He just pitches it out, and there goes. You give it to that guy to the outside, and great vision and a great motor. 4'4" guy, and Lloyd told people, as you look at Kevin Wilson, that we were after Damian Anderson, couldn't get him signed.
He has rushed for 167 yards. Going for more. Touchdown, Northwestern. 7 yards, and Damian Anderson gets it right back for Coach Walker.
Time a little delay and back the same way. The counter play from the shotgun. Pull the offside tackle. Damian Anderson gets to the outside of Damian.
Behind, but they're not out of it. It's 28-17. Timeout.
Today, because I got a feeling Michigan's going to not let off on gas pedal.
There's the onside drop kick. Northwestern's got it. On the catch, what a great call as Blackman makes the catch on the long kick. What a terrific time to ambush the Wolverines with that play. Lloyd Carr is protesting on the far side.
Comes up, reaches it outside.
Offside. And no question.
Who's offside?
Receivers checking the coaches. Kustok now to tell the offensive line. 3 rushmen for the Wolverines. Now they show blitz. Patman's coming. He's picked up. Middle, got him! First down, number 82, Johnny Swigert.
Kevin Wilson, the coach that time, up in the stand.
138 yards. He's 12 of 18 on the game. They come around with Simmons on the reverse. He's got quickness, the former running back. First down.
Look back, snap the ball.
Now Kustok gets protection deflected as he threw it too low, and Eric Wilson knocked it down. And one of the things in the play clock is the coach upstairs can keep his eye on it because he can't get it in too late. Too much time on the clock.
Yeah, that's what I...
Here comes Long. And they take the 3 points that time. So.
Well, that's my idea.
All right, it's 28-20, and let's go down to Jack. Yeah, and Northwestern just crushed the running back that time. Simon and Missouri coming hard, and now Missouri wants the timeout.
This passing our 2 featured running backs, not bad.
That is amazing. Good. Those 2 fellows have accomplished already here.
Look at those averages. 7 and 9 yards. And remember, Michigan's came into this game with back-to-back Big Ten shutouts.
Anderson, quiet fellow. You won't see him celebrate after any touchdown.
Man-to-man outside.
And Henson now looking for him, too. Terrell turns around and almost makes the catch as the safety was coming, and he wanted a penalty on that one. And Simmons. A nice high punt. Fair catch is the signal. And that'll give Northwestern 45 yards. And they're hanging in this one now. 44 seconds. Kustok with that option look. Cuts it in between the tackle. And he's at the 41-yard line. And you can watch the seconds ticking away here. That's all that's left. Needs a first down to stop it on the slant. Got it. Simmons inside the 30, and the clock will stop as the chains move with Patman and Foot there, but it's 12 more yards.
He'll just ground it right now, get down 3rd time.
Kustok deflected, 10 seconds left. Third down. Anderson squirts to the 26-yard line, and the clock is stopped for the final time here this half. And now Tim Long.
It was meant to be an inspiration to his team. It says quite simply, as you can see, 1 play at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 game at a time. And then they put their next opponent up right beneath it. Walker believes in this creed, preaches it to his players, and wants to see them adhere to it as well.
And even though Randy Walker's an Ohio guy, took most of his learning from Bo Schembechler.
43 yards is the official distance here for Long. You can watch from behind the goalpost. And the last play of the half looks good. This is beauty. Northwestern was down 28-10, and they scored 13 unanswered points. Look at a ball game, folks. Might get it over around midnight. Timeout. (28-23) at the half, folks, and we have had 641 total yards of offense. Gary, that's unbelievable.
This ball right here. Keep the ball. Not a turnover in the game. Hold it, my friend, right here, okay? Because whoever has it last may win this thing. Incredible. Both sides have been able to move the ball.
Oh, it's going to be a remarkable second half here at Evanston as Northwestern was able to hang tough and stick with it. They were down 28-10.
Two great offenses. The playing matchups with Terrell and Henson has kind of put that deep.
Listen.
Coach, you seemed a little upset at that onside kick. Why?
Well, I think they were offside. I think that's a little advantage.
What sort of changes are you going to make?
Well, we've just got to keep playing hard. We're playing hard. We're making some good hits. Hopefully we can force a turnover or two, and offensively we've got to keep scoring points.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thanks, Jeff.
Look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats.
And amazingly, 51 plays in the first half, and that's how it wears you down. Some big plays by Michigan, but across the board, everyone's making big plays, but look how many more plays Northwestern has run.
Second down and 10. Henson 9 of 15 for 130. Play fake Henson. He's looking for him. And he's got him again underneath for a first down, and that's 14 more yards, and this time Marquise Walker slipping in underneath.
Last possession, and it cost them some points not getting that ball out of their own zone there at the end of that half, but before then, they were a machine, much like that Purdue.
First down. The running play, they'll try to stretch the defense out. And it's the fullback, Askew, the ball carrier for the first time this game.
Henson so
Found away at the middle with Thomas and hanging on is Silva. Second and 5. Henson gets protection, fires. Terrell's got it inside the 20 to the 15-yard line where it will be first down, Wolverines. First down. Now the running formation. Thomas stretching the defense, and he's bumped out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Let's go quickly to Jack.
The offensive coordinator for the Michigan Wolverines uses this tool in the third quarter. Throughout the first half, what Stan Parrish does is he checks off every play that he has charted, which ones work. In the third quarter, he says the predominant plays he calls are the ones with the blue check mark.
Play fake, and Henson left alone. Waits for the wide open in the end zone. The tight end, Billy Seymour. 11-yard touchdown. And that's the fourth touchdown pass of the day for number 7. A touchdown. In there all day. Henson can't believe it. 35-23. Timeout. Sideline, and Gary, we should ask the coach about the way they communicated. Here they are handing off, and Anderson's got daylight. 40 down at the 46-yard line, and Joe, Gary did such a great job in the first half of describing the communication process here at Northwestern down there. Now I want you to watch this, partner. Here's Travis Dorsch out of Bozeman, Montana. Second one's good. Now, folks, watch the sideline. Drew Henson didn't act like that, and look at the others. Stock. They take off again, but he's going to be out of bounds, and a penalty flag flies as he went out of bounds. Could have been a late hit.
You really don't know, as shifty as Kustak is he going to go out of bounds or not? That's a bad call. Barely touched him, and he had his foot in bounds when he hit him. I think that's very tough to call and give a team that type of call.
Yeah, I agree.
15-yard penalty with a runner went out of bounds. Automatic.
Wolverine territory at the 45-yard line. And there's Anderson. And that draw that they run to the 41-yard line.
They are very efficient also.
Kustak steps up now, fires, middle's open, got his man. Inside the 15 goes Quinley Patrick. First down, Wildcats.
Huge penalty, and Zach Kustak takes great.
They hold up well that time. He throws back in underneath. Jordan inside the 5-yard line. This will be 3rd down and short coming up for NU.
Looks like they're going to come this time.
Incomplete to behind. Interference has been called. The penalty flag thrown.
On the outside, Howard. I don't know. Didn't see much there. The ball looked like it was tipped to me when I watched it live, Brad.
I'm going to tell you that number 17 might have come in there a little bit late. And the first to hit him. Straight basic eye. Play fake. Kustok throws wide open. Touchdown! The tight end, David Foreman.
Tight end's coming right out here from the outside. 2nd down, best time to do it. 1 step in, easy pitch and catch, but the huge call on Brackens, I thought, really changed the tempo of that drive and kept Northwestern alive.
No question. Northwestern got a huge break on that 3rd down personal foul going out of bounds, and they made the most of it. And they were going to wind up trying to go for 2 and nothing doing on it with J.J. Standring, the holder back there. A wide open David Foreman. Touchdown, Northwestern. They make the most of their opportunity. 35-29.
There you go.
And
nice Northwestern purple for you right there.
29, a 6-point difference right now, and you can see how much offense we've had in this game. We're headed for more than 1,000 yards of offense, and we've still got 8.5 minutes left in quarter number 3. Play fake. Henson wants Terrell deflected. Got it. Terrell on the ricochet is out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Very few change-ups.
4-man rush. Thomas to daylight. Silva trips him up, but it's 1st down, Michigan.
Isolate.
Thomas again, and brought down. So they'll look up occasionally, and now they are at this play on 2nd down over there. And here is Thomas. 1st down, Michigan at the Northwestern 30-yard line. Touchdown to this team.
Bellamy's in the game. 3 receivers.
Back in that shotgun, looking now. Northwestern tries to blitz, and they got it on the slant. They hit Bellamy out of the slot to the 11-yard line. 1st down, Michigan.
Sometimes for a bad game from the quarterback, and he ain't getting a bad game from the quarterback.
1st and 10. Thomas goes outside with a quick move. Penalty flags come flying as he goes out of bounds on that play.
Incidental face mask on the defense. Have to be shoot to the goal line. Still 1st down.
To the end zone. Touchdown.
Not going to need it.
Anthony Thomas.
Big blue machine, which I think is one of the 2.
Here's the A train one more time. 26 carries, 153 yards, and now 2 touchdowns. At 10, Michigan couldn't get him out yet. What's wrong with what Drew Brees did against Ohio State last week?
Nice, buddy.
The kickoff into the end zone. And the young man coming out, and it's a great return for Ayeni. Crosses midfield, and folks, here come the Wildcats again. You played in a smaller field in the NFL, my friend.
Not as much space.
Anderson comes free. Daylight. Foot race. Touchdown.
Man, oh man.
45 yards. We've had 36. Mike Souza, the long snapper. So it's 42-36, 2:59, and you wouldn't bet against 300 here.
No, you know, early in the year this year, Damian Anderson had 290-plus yards against Indiana, and a lot of people were saying to Randy Walker, why didn't you keep him in? And Randy Walker said, We're not into setting records in the 5th game of the season. We're looking for wins.
Gary, we've had 899 total yards.
Get ready. Do we have a 4 digits anywhere in this?
Politics. Get inside your quarterback before. There's this onside kick again, but this time Michigan makes the catch at the 45-yard line. I wonder about that one. Let's check in with Jack. That's a pretty short field there, Jack.
Yeah, Brent. I'll keep scoring.
Laypick in trouble. Going deep down the middle. Number 1 penalty flag incomplete, but there was a penalty flag.
He knew he was beat, and he grabbed Terrell. Kind of threw David a little bit off balance. Drew Henson did a great job of avoiding.
Second down.
Man to man.
And Henson rolling, firing, and that time incomplete and out of bounds. Let's check in with John Saunders. John.
Flag down.
Brent, time for the Burger King play of the day. Arizona and Washington. Washington looking at the Rose Bowl, or perhaps even better. They got to stop Bobby Wade on the punt return. Breaks a couple of tackles, then a nice cut right there. 60 yards for the touchdown. Arizona pulling away from Washington, although the Huskies starting to put something together right now, but they trail 25-13.
Washington at home, having trouble. There's the holding call against the offense, a 10-yard penalty, and coach Henson looks middle high, incomplete. It's 4th down. Marquise Walker and Terrell walks disgustedly off to the far side. Beautiful. 52 yards for Epstein. And the lead is 45-36. That's a 9-point lead, so you cannot tie it with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. First down and 10. Kustok comes up firing right away, and Howard couldn't make the stop initially. And let's check in with Jack.
Sometimes this guy will back up and be the pitch man, much like Air Force. I don't think so. Nothing. Now we'll see.
Penalty flag.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Yeah, you can do it.
15-yard penalty.
That is 2 critical personal fouls against Michigan here in the second half.
That one must have been pretty obvious because that was called by the head referee from behind, who's got his eyes drilled to the quarterback throughout the whole game.
It is 45-36. Kustok firing complete to Simmons, who has had a monstrous day. And Simmons on the afternoon has caught 10 passes for him. Plenty of time on the play clock.
Michigan's giving him a hitch pass. Let's see if they throw it. There it is.
Kustok does. First down.
Michigan was playing 10 yards off on 3rd and 5 that time, giving them the hitch. The coach did the same because then they're both not dummies.
Kustak's got an open man inside the 10-yard line, out of bounds at the 7. First and goal, Teddy Johnson, 22 yards. 81 points, and between them, 941 total yards. And look at the number of plays that Gary just checked.
71 plays. They had to move the ball last year.
They were an offensive barrage. Pump fake. Kustok didn't get the man open, but now he runs it inside the 5. Wants the end zone, dives. Touchdown, touchdown.
What a play. What a play. The bottom. They wanted to go hitch and go to the outside. Perfect coverage by Michigan. Zach has no one to throw to. And then look at this. A quarterback, a point guard, a hustler, and gets it into the end zone.
There was 88 points, and folks, we're not finished. This is the Big Ten. We're Bo and Woody. Young Matt Danielson, who obviously inherited the good looks of his mother. Now he's warming up, folks, because Zach Kustok took a bit of a blow going into the end zone that time. So Matt's just getting limp.
What's going on?
First down and 10. The ball! Northwestern football at the 19. Wayne, Missouri caused the fumble.
Game when Missouri was right there. Here it is again. The naked boot. Henson is going to keep it, and there's the big guy doing what he's supposed to do. He punches it out with his left arm. It was going to be a pass play all the way. I don't even get it anymore. As strong as this game has been, it's still a game.
Throw, and Anderson's in trouble because it was read perfectly by Dan Romashek. Young man from Addison, Illinois. Got plenty of time. Fires up underneath to Simmons, and he's nailed immediately at the 25-yard line.
That was the best defensive stand of the day for Michigan.
Long enough. Got it! Northwestern leads. 12:30 to go. 46-45 in one of the wildest games ever between Michigan and Northwestern. Ain't the Wildcats your grandpa, folks. Michigan's turn in the fourth quarter as Northwestern leads it here, and it's time for it. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. He's free, rushes Henson, who gets it off to the tight end, Joffre. And he's out, stopped at the 35-yard line. And back up in the BCS poll, which of course will send the top two to the orange bowl at the end of the year. Henson's back, snaps it off, and this one complete to Terrell. First down for Michigan. And speaking of the BCS, let's take a look. This, of course, the standings coming into the day. Virginia Tech obviously will fall. Nebraska, Miami, and Florida. Oregon is losing. Washington is winning, which means that they've come back, right?
Wow.
The last time
they
had
a great fourth quarter win last week.
Yeah, amazing. TCU, they go tonight. Is off to the right. They've hit him in the slot here today. Henson looks goes back outside to Terrell. First down, Michigan. Huge third down hit for Henson.
Harold Blackman's strategy is to play off.
Finely tuned Wildcat team. Second down. Henson gets his good time this time, and he hits Marquise Walker inside the throw.
What a throw. It's just a marvel to watch this guy.
10:08, fourth quarter. Now some pressure, and Thomas looks for daylight. Wrestled down at the 20-yard line. Marvin Brown brings him down. He'll have more than 1,000 yards of offense in this game. Here's Thomas. He battles to the 8-yard line. Brown again makes the stop. Henson got Terrell, slips a tackle, and he's down at the 1-foot line.
That's a little late, and David feels the guy. Now watch him come back and get it. He says, uh-oh, and he comes in and steps forward to catch that ball, stretches it towards...
Thomas, the obvious choice here. Here he comes. For the corner. Dives. Got it. Touchdown. Touchdown. Michigan regains the lead.
Decision time for Lloyd Carr. I think he's got to go for two. And for me to say that, I'm not a big two-point guy, but I think in this situation, you got to go.
This is the first two-point conversion attempt all year for the Wolverines. Incomplete. What a terrible call. I'm just kidding.
Blackman finally gets one. He needed to come down farther. Really didn't fool Harold Blackman that time. That's why Drew was late with the pass.
Well, it's Northwestern's turn, folks. Timeout. Plays the receiver straight up. Offensive line does a good job. Bustad couldn't find an open man. Now with Foot closing in, incomplete. A penalty flag comes flying on Foot. Who hit?
Boy, there's been so many close. Bustad comes out. Foot closes. Hit him right in the head. Helmet to helmet.
Down and 7. Now Bustad in trouble. Shakes it. Down he goes.
Well, Brent, they came back with a couple of touchdowns from Hurst to take the lead, but here comes Arizona again. Leo Mills runs right through the secondary, unmolested, 51 yards for the touchdown. Arizona's back on top.
In front of them, come up and make the tackle.
Penalty flag is thrown. The umpire probably holding against Northwestern.
You have to believe that Michigan will decline this penalty.
A look at the quarterback duel, and the difference would be Hinson's 4 touchdowns to Kustak's 1. Remember now, Zach had rushed for 80 yards, but the defensive pressure has taken it away as sack. First and 10. Thomas, Bayline, down to the 35-yard line again, or Purdue at Michigan State. But you're going to have the cable TV or the direct TV, because Oklahoma against Texas A&M at 1 Eastern is the big one. OU goes in to play the Tex clock right now, run it down, try to take time away from Northwestern, get some first downs if they can, and Thomas battle back for the first down. Nice run. Marquise Walker, first down, clock stops as he steps out at the marker for the Wolverines.
I think that Northwestern land up in the neutral zone on that play.
Coming around, Northwestern was ready for it. Number 47, Conrad Emmerich. Huge for the Wildcats team. Steps up, fires hard, incomplete. Northwestern will get the ball back.
One of the few passes all day with no pressure on Drew Henson. He missed them. Led David Terrell too much on that play. Terrell had him beat, and everyone's upset on that one.
Missing. Kustak straight back, middle, got it. First down at the 29-yard line as Patrick catches one for a 20-yard gain. Anderson sprints to the outside. Stepped out at the 35. Kustak with the option, looks to keep it. Got the first down, breaks free. And the one-time point guard from Carl Sandburg High School here, out of bounds.
Sessions scored.
Zach is ready. He'll tell the line on the changeup. Breaks free. Johnson out of bounds. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Outside, this guy comes in and tracks him. The next guy right behind him gets the ball. Perfect read by the quarterback. They bite on the first one. There's the second one. And to the outside. Second down, pressure slant, incomplete. And fine play by Todd Howard, number 3 off the corner. Back's left side. They'll sit with this play. Option look, Anderson, and ready is Mr. Foote. A beautiful play by Larry Foote, who read option all the way, and his man was Anderson, and he's telling everybody, hey, the running back also grab my face mask. Pressure underneath, got it, dives, end zone, touchdown! Touchdown, Northwestern! 7 yards!
I think I saw a late flag in this one. And I think there might have been a guy downfield for Northwestern, a lineman downfield.
Teddy Johnson, the receiver, caught the pass.
But he caught it over the line of scrimmage. Teddy needed to be behind the line of scrimmage because it was the slip screen to the wide receiver, and he caught it a yard past.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offensive. 5-yard penalty.
The question is, does Teddy, look, he's about on the 7-yard line, 8-yard line where he's lined up. He has to catch the ball at the line of scrimmage or beyond. Comes down. Yeah, very in the line of scrimmage. He has the best viewpoint.
Because you're allowed to go downfield if you're an offensive line. Zach has got it. Fake Anderson in trouble. Gonna throw it back. He's open. No, he dropped the ball at the goal line.
Oh, my goodness.
Damian Anderson was wide open. And he couldn't hang on.
Look at
the A-train. Will try to kill the clock.
Slips right through. Makes the fake. Watch the pressure. Brackens comes right on in Zach. Zach jumps. Throws. No one covering him. And boots it. One more look at Zach getting rid of that ball.
So now it's up to the Wolverines, and Thomas, he'll try to stay in bounds, which he does. Barging out to the 19-yard line. This has been a wonderful college football. Final minute of this game. And here comes the fumble! Northwestern's got it! 47 seconds! I don't believe it!
Reminiscent of Wisconsin Northwestern. The two stars of the game, the running backs. First it's Damian Anderson dropping a pass, and now Anthony Thomas running to seal the game. The game is over, and he drops the ball to make it 4.
Now Zach up firing slant, first down, clock stop. At the 11-yard line, 23 seconds to go for NU. 23 seconds. Northwestern needs a touchdown slant. They've got it. They've got it. Northwestern leads. Sam Simmons, last week's hero, has done it again. And it was an unfortunate fumble by Anthony Thomas that gave Northwestern one last chance.
What a game by Zach Kustok. Sam Simmons, you called it. He caught the tip pass, the Hail Mary a week ago.
As Damian Anderson dropped what would have been the go-ahead touchdown. But then Northwestern got a second chance because Anthony Thomas put it on the ground and it was recovered by Northwestern. Then the touchdown pass. But Raheem Covington saved the day when he pounced on that loose fumble. And it is a team that indeed doesn't ever quit. Like Coach Walker said, you have to kill us to beat us. And he knew exactly what he was talking about. To the corner. All right there, got it.
It was the slant and go.
Teddy Johnson. Teddy Johnson, who Western goes into the Michigan record book. 654 yards, the most ever allowed by Michigan.
Slant and go to the outside. He takes one step in and just goes to the corner of the end zone. Another perfectly thrown ball, and he gets both feet down. You only need one.
Northwestern drops 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. Gibson on the run, throws it underneath. The clock stops as he comes to work on the sideline. And if Steen gets ready, he could send this into overtime with a field goal.
That would only be fair, wouldn't it?
Cusack better talk to the coaches upstairs because we could be headed for OT.
Michigan needs about 12 yards minimum to get into range. There's enough time to run it. And with the timeout, you could throw it, turn it.
Needing yards. The offensive line does its job. Sideline to stop the clock, and Farrell steps out at the 39. Now 4 seconds. Why would they take any kind of a chance?
The only thing I could think, it's got to be the discussion. They're discussing something, but I kicked the field goal. They cannot take the chance in my mind.
Here he comes. In trouble, throw it out, and it ends. Northwestern wins it. Northwestern wins it 54-51.
It looked like a good snap, and John Navarre could not handle it.
Let's go to Jack Arute quickly.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Can you describe how you feel right now?
Oh, it's just, you're in shock almost. You keep trading blows with a great heavyweight fighter like that. And we just hope we can keep standing for 15 rounds and our kids kept standing.
Well, Brentford today, they're the heavyweight champions of the world.
Football is how you respond, and Northwestern responded. 54-51 over Michigan is our final.